Let's say you have a Blender scene with several cameras, and you want to render all of them as a batch. Sounds simple, right? Well, Blender says, good luck, my friend. Because by default, there is no clean, one-click way to render all these cameras as a batch. The usual workflow is repetitive. Select camera 1, check the output folder and all settings, press render, wait, then switch to camera 2 and repeat. After a while, you are not really making art anymore. You are just manually babysitting cameras. And let's be honest, life is already short enough. So what I want is simple. I want to set everything up once, and then I press one button to render everything one by one. No ritual, no checklist, no praying to the render gods. So instead of manually switching cameras, we are going to create shots. Each shot will remember its own camera, output path, render settings, and everything else it needs. So let's create one shot for each camera angle. In this example, I'm going to use animation shots, but still shots work the same way. Next, I need to assign the right camera to each shot. I can do this directly in the outliner or in the inspector. Now, when I switch between these shots, Hypershot automatically switches the active camera. Technically, we could already start a batch render, but let's make the setup a little more interesting. I also want every render to go into the correct folder. So in the output path, I can use a variable like shot name. This means Hypershot will automatically create an output folder with the shot name. We can see the final path right here in the preview field. Now I'll set up the paths for the other shots the same way. Done. And if I need different render settings for a specific shot, I can do that too. For example, maybe the close-up needs more samples. So I go to the render settings, right-click on samples, and choose Hypershot, Add Override. Now let's double the samples. This way I can add any custom render setting to this shot. And if I change my mind, I can remove the override at any time. Once everything is set up, I select the shots I want to render and click Render Selected. Before the render starts, Hypershot shows a confirmation window. This is where I can check the full render plan. I can make sure every shot is configured correctly before launching the batch. Hypershot also scans the output folders before rendering. I'll show you how that works in a moment. So, before I even press the final button, I already know what will happen. Everything looks good. So now I confirm the batch render. Thanks to the render queue and the progress bar, I can see exactly how the batch is going and when it should finish. As you can see, Hypershot automatically moves to the next task and creates a folder with the shot name. And that's it. The render is done. In the output folders, we can see all the rendered frames. Now, to show you how the disk scanner works, I'm going to delete some of them. Let's start the render again. As you can see, the first shot is already fully rendered because all its files are still there. So it gets the skip job type and will be skipped automatically when the render starts. This protects me from accidentally replacing frames that are already rendered. If I still want to render it again, I can simply enable Overwrite. The second shot has the missing job type because some of its frames are missing. That means Hypershot will render only the missing frames. This is useful because I don't need to manually check folders, set up the timeline, or rebuild the render plan. The third shot has the full job type because the scanner found an empty folder for this shot. That means it will render the whole shot from the beginning. To continue the batch, I just confirm the render again, and that's it. Now you can batch render multiple cameras in Blender without manually switching everything one by one. Thanks for watching.